guys, how you doing? Welcome to week 3. I've got this week 2. Remember this from last week? This was last week's quiz from our announcements. This is last week's announcement. You guys probably recognize it. Faculty must include office hours. Faculty bio, yes, must include your office hours in your faculty bio. That's true. Faculty is required to respond to every student post in the introductory icebreaker. Again, true. Faculty is responsible for reporting any broken links, missing content, discrepancies, or content to design feedback. Again, true. These are all true, guys. Week 1 announcements must include a welcome announcement and a proper Module 1 content announcement. And then announcements should be used as an instructional tool. And I talked about that quite a bit last week. And I think that I did some outreach to a few faculty just to kind of remind you that, those announcements are an amazing teaching tool. I know that it seems like you're adding a little bit more work in your announcements. And I had a few emails last week saying that this seems like it's going to take a long time. It doesn't. I mean, all this stuff I'm showing you guys, I've been doing this for well over 4 years. And it just doesn't. It doesn't take any more time. Once you get into your groove and realize, I got to do this in my announcements, and I have to do this in my discussion feedback, and I have to do this in my grading, and I really have to provide this for the student to ensure, adequate instruction and engagement. And that's why I give you these lists every week of things that you should be doing. Trust me, it doesn't take any longer at all once you get in the group. Let's go through week 3 announcement. So we have week 3 announcement. Okay, here's week 3 quiz. And of course I have our little quiz kids. I love these guys. This funny picture of all these happy little kids in school. I wonder what the photographer said to make them, because they're all genuinely laughing. It must have been a pretty funny little comment that the photographer made. But I just, I love my little vintage and my funny photographs. So I included that one too. All right, so here's our quiz. Take a look at these. Answer them. If you can't answer them, let me know. And if you can't answer them, it's probably an indication that you should brush up a little bit on your 3 things: your instructional practices rubric, your faculty fundamental requirements, and of course your COSI faculty promise. Okay, so really important stuff that this stuff makes sense. Okay, welcome to week 3. So we have this little summary from last week, and then we have what is week 3 about here. And week 3 is about grading, assignment, and feedback. And the reason I'm showing you this, guys, is that this is fair game. Okay, so last week I showed you the announcements, and this is what we look for in the announcements. Okay, so that if you see the announcement for your announcements and you say, okay, maybe I didn't do that, or maybe I did that, it's to be assumed that that stuff will be checked by your team lead. Okay, I hope that's specifically clear. So in welcome to week 3, we have this. We have our grading and feedback. So go ahead and read through this. And I want to show you, I left these scenarios here for you guys. And I am going to do something here because I kind of want to use sorry. Actually, let me just do this. I want to use this as kind of a placeholder because, sorry about that. I'm sorry about this. I should have done this before. I want to use this to be able to block what I'm looking at while we look at this. This will make sense in 2 seconds, guys, I promise. Anyways, I just kind of want to block the answer. Okay, okay, there we go. All right, so this is what is looked for in this week, for instance, you're grading feedback. All right, this is actually actual grading comments and how they were received and how they were assessed by a team leader, how they should have been assessed by a team lead. Okay, so I just want to share these with you really quick because sometimes not everything is as it seems. Let me do this real quick. Scenario number 1. The response went like this: I enjoyed reading your submission. This is the instructor to the student now based on the student's submission. I enjoyed reading your submission. You discussed some interesting aspects of your paper that reflect some sound research. Your submission is clear, centers around subject and of the assignment. I was unable to find any resources for your teachers and parents, for teachers and parents specifically in this paper, but this is specific to the subject of the class. So, okay, main elements includes most. Okay, so that's a good little synopsis there. Research, okay, effectively incorporates. So, and then the instructor gives these grades, okay? So, does this meet? Does not meet? Does this meet or does it exceed expectations? At first glance, you would say, yeah, this definitely exceeds expectations, or at the very least meets expectations, right? It doesn't, guys, it doesn't. This feedback does not meet expectations because The feedback is very general. It's not individualized to the student. The instructor does not specifically speak to the content of the student's work. The scores do not reflect feedback provided. For example, perfect scores were given when feedback states improvement was needed. Okay, so some inconsistencies there. I think this is really important. Instructor does not specifically speak to the content of the student's work. Okay, that's important. So we have personal, instructional, and intellectual standards that have to be met. Let's take a look at the next scenario. Okay, so this one, nice to see you tackle your parents. This one gets into the question, look at a part of the feedback. Questions are a wonderful way to use since they provide the writer with spots needed to further clarify explanation. I might suggest stronger organization structure for your ideas so you can highlight the areas. Okay, so notice this response is specific to the student. An area of opportunity, again, look, this is great. This is showing what can be improved at. Okay, keep in mind we want to have a thorough analysis of the text while we're focusing on the strengths and weaknesses. Okay, so what is this? This meets expectations, and one would think that this would exceed. Again, it doesn't for the following reason. This feedback meets expectations because the instructor acknowledges the student's strength, great, while also providing substantive guidance on how they can improve. Future peer critiques, fantastic. Although the instructor addresses the student's contributions directly, making the feedback individualized. This example meets expectations rather than exceeds, as there was no evidence of leveraging the student's own experience or particular interests to make personal connections. Okay, so the instructor did fantastic except for making those personal connections to the student and leveraging the student's experience. Let's take a look at the last one. Okay, and of course, the first one was does not meet, the second one was meet, so of course we can see the third one. The third one exceeds expectations, and please understand the reasons why. This instructor used students' individual entry to make personal connection. Feedback was given to a student on how they could improve by highlighting where the initial post should be made. In addition, instructors acknowledging of the strength of the discussion based on personal experience of that student. Okay, note, guys, really important. These are personal. Let's jump over here to the instructional practices rubric and note that we have standards: personal presence, instructional presence, intellectual presence. Please read these. Right now, my examples are all falling under personal presence, okay? So I think it would be easy to extrapolate the information that I just paraphrased or just summarized and be able to take a look at your IPR and say, okay, this is applicable to instructional presence because I can do X, Y, Z based on that feedback and those examples, okay? Hope this makes sense, guys. So, oh, and then we have this is finally, we must provide exceptional service every time. And this is just some things that I had included. Some of you had heard about this. You know, there's a lot to keep track here, guys. I mean, if you didn't zero out your grades by Wednesday, you probably heard about it. I think it's a great idea to do it by Monday. And I believe in lists. I believe in a very regimented way to approach the class. And I think it really helped me in my career here as an SNHU instructor. So as I said, it seems like it's a daunting task to address all of these things each week. But once you get your system down, it's really not. Hope I can help out, guys. I hope that helps out. And just a little reminder, I'm probably not telling anybody anything they don't already know, but sometimes it's good to have a little reminder. I'm over 8 minutes, didn't want to do that. But at any rate, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns whatsoever moving forward, as you probably can tell by now, I'm pretty active. I'm really good about getting right back to you with questions and help. And if you're not hearing from me, guys, you're doing awesome. If you're hearing from me, you're doing awesome, but we're noticing some areas that can be improved upon, all right? Great job, guys. Any questions, give me a holler. See you all in your classes. Thanks.